Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Crafts with John from Pro Craps over here on Casino Gaming TV. Before I get started today, I want to make a quick mention about the comments in chat. So the other day, excuse me, I had missed a note in chat. I think Skill and Vince were talking before the show in the chat room. And I think Vince had said to Skill, make sure you tell John to give credit to the uptown downtown strategy to him and to Skill and to Buckeye Slim. And I didn't see it. I never saw the chat in the thing. And Vince is like, I think John's ignoring me. I'm not. And it's interesting because I just looked in, and the way that I see the chats come in, I think is chronological based on when you type them. I think it's based on both Pro Craps and Casino Gaming TV's chats being combined. What I see, though, the first chat that I see is Greg from 555 saying LOL Skill, like he's replying to something Skill like I'd said earlier. I'm not seeing the earlier. So oftentimes I'll come in here and not see, I guess I'm not seeing all the chats sometimes. So if I am ignoring you, I'm not ignoring you. I don't always see everything. So that's what's going on there. Since I don't see it, I don't see it. So there it is. Anyway, let's get into today's topics. Lots of stuff to talk about today. I did a video last night, by the way. Some of you saw it. Greg commented on it. A few of you did comment on it. I did a cum ladder video last night at like midnight. I couldn't sleep and I just decided to go and do a video. The reason why is I probably filmed for 6 hours yesterday and Sunday too. I'm doing a full video series on the Headless Horseman, and actually I'm doing all my toolbox strategies. I'm doing like a 5-minute version of every strategy. And I thought, let me just do a version of it where I teach you how to play it, how it works, and then I'll do a separate rollout, kind of like Rick from Let It Roll does. Strategy one day, roll it the next day. And I thought, I haven't rolled out the craps ladder in forever. Let me do that last night. I got a lot of interesting comments on it. Some people love it. Some people hate it. People think I'm foolish. Whatever. It's interesting. I think that brought up a lot of good stuff. So we're going to talk about that today for sure. So let's get to our normal announcements, and then we'll start talking through some of the content for today. So today's announcements are going to be this, essentially the same as always for DiceCon, right? Get to Jeremy's club, colorup.club, jump in Discord. While you're at it, join my Discord there at the bottom. CasinoGaming.tv will get you there. And, Jeff, myself, Skill, we're all hanging out in there, and not a lot of activity. A lot of people saying hi, but nobody's actually talking yet. Let's get in and talk to the providers here and start getting some of the content you want to see. So that's what it's there for. The milestone watch is interesting. On points, it's creeping up. I put you in at 647. It's actually 947. That's a mistake on my part. I'm sorry, Mike. 947 for on point. He's getting close to that 1,000 mark, as is Ken. Ken, if you haven't been paying attention, has started. He's getting started anyway, doing a gambling coaching service sort of thing. So I think it's really cool. I think Ken's been at this for a long time. He's really passionate about gambling and being safe, and he does preach the same things I do, right? He's very conservative. He's very much, protective of your money, locking up that profit, and having a good approach to the game. So he's doing a service, which I think is really cool. It's good for him. I think he's got a lot to offer in that respect. It's a passion project of his, and I think that folks that tie up with him will have a really good mentor. So that's pretty cool that he's doing that. I'm happy to see where that goes. Looking forward to seeing where it goes anyway. Square Pair's creeping up a little bit too. Again, they've been a little off the radar for a bit, but it is what it is there. They'll get back into the swing and groove here, and we'll start seeing them inch their way up. And Skill, our own Skill and Luck. We don't talk about him enough, but Dylan's got a channel as well. He's on the road a lot. He doesn't put a lot of videos out like the rest of us who live in our basements do, right? But one of the better thinkers of the game, for sure. I think we always joke about Dylan's always in his truck doing advanced calculus while he drives, and I think he's just such a good thinker. When he puts a video out, it's one that you want to pay attention to because you're going to get something deep out of it. So there it is. I think there are some channels that we need to be paying attention to, moving over the hump. And beyond that, there are some other channels that we want to talk through. I'm going to skip over to here. I have a mention here about Midmo. Yeah, we'll talk about him in a minute. Let's go through some things from yesterday. Actually, let's talk about On Point Crafts first. On Point Crafts going dark a little bit. he wrote me an email. He said, I think Greg has turned me into, he's like my Sith Lord. He's turned me into the dark side guy. And Mike's doing his 3-unit challenges and he's going all like don't pass with odds and making a ton of money. There's money down there, folks. There's money down there in the darkness. I'm telling you, Greg's been telling you for years, that's where the money actually is, right? You can make bigger money sporadically up in the box. You're going to make money all the time down in the depths, right? So watch more of Greg, learn how the dark side works. I do dark side stuff all the time here, but Greg is the master of it. Watch more of that, get into it. Mike is starting to see the light, so to speak, of playing the dark side, and it's pretty cool to watch. Midmo, you put out a video the other day where you said, is this a new thing or not? And it was the School of Hard Knocks. And the answer is no and yes, right? No. I mean, it's not new. Everybody plays the 4, 6, 8, and 10 in some configuration. Like I told you over chat, but I want to tell everybody this because I think it's good for everybody to hear. Your strategy was basically the 4, 6, 8, 10, and all the hard ways. And you went high with your bets and brought them down and then brought them down again. It was a tiered regression, as I recall, of those bets. That's what makes it unique. It's not the fact that you went 4, 6, 8, 10 the hard ways. A lot of people do that. That's not unique. The uniqueness of what you did is the way that you tiered down your bets as you won and spread the money out. That's what makes it unique. And I told you over the comments there, I do a strategy similar. I play the 4, 6, 8, and 10 with the hard ways. My bet levels are different and my pressing strategy is different. I'm going for a different metric than you are. That's what makes a strategy a strategy. A strategy is typically not, it's a combination of what numbers you play and the way that you approach the wins. It's the way you approach the wins that's different. And I think that's what you did. And that's what makes it a unique thing. That's why I say keep going with the School of Hard Knocks because it is yours, it is unique. And I think that the more people are thinking about different ways to play, the better off we all get because you give us something else to think about. Jacob from Wager Me This did that video on the Iron Cross where he did a tiered regression as well. He went from I think 90 to 60 to 30 on the 5, 6, and 8, paring down as he went. I think those types of ways of playing that tiered regression, that's such a great way to play. And it works great for strategies like the Iron Cross. It works great in your case too. So keep up the work, right? Keep thinking through it. I see we've got Dice DGen here as well. Dice DGen, also a new channel, by the way. Doing good work over there. Again, getting started, right? You and Midmoyo are both kind of just coming up and getting started. And it reminds me, especially DGen, you remind me so much of how I started my channel. Just the look of your table, the look of how you're presenting, it was me over the summer. So again, really like where y'all are headed. And if y'all haven't seen these guys, get over there and get subscribed and let's get them rolling and start getting them onto the Milestone Watcher Club as well. So there's all of that. Let's go ahead and chat about the Come Ladder. I ran the Come Ladder last night and I got some interesting comments on it. Our friend Jay, who's here in chat all the time. Jay's great. Jay says things to me like, or he'll say in chat, I love watching you every day, even though I don't agree with anything you say. I'm like, cool, that's great. I don't care. I'm not here to make you a sycophant, right? You don't have to agree with me all the time. But I just like the community of the morning show. A lot of folks think I don't do come betting very good, and that's okay. A lot of folks think I do come betting too much. A lot of folks think I don't. I don't know. It's whatever. The thing with the come bets is this, and I've said this before. I said it to Jay specifically, and I don't know if Jay had a more specific thought on the come ladder, but come betting with odds, come bets in general, right? Super low house edge, right? The lowest house edge aside from the 6 and the 8 and the don't pass. It's the don't pass, the come/pass line with odds in the 6 and the 8. When you add odds to come bets, you just lower that house edge. The problem with the odds on the come bets and the pass line is they're expensive, right? They are zero edge. They do lower the overall house edge of those bets, but they're freaking expensive. You drop a $10 come bet out there, you want to throw max odds up on it, that's $50, right? And every bet you're making ends up being $60 to go max odds. You're going to burn your entire bankroll. Last night should have showed you that, right? When I ran the come ladder out, how many times did I get a come bet set and a 7, a come bet set and a 7 every single time? It seemed like I was grinding for 30 minutes of that session with getting a point, getting a number, and then sevening out. It probably happened 5 or 6 times. If I had gone, set a point, come bet to a number, max odds, next roll's a 7, you're out of money. You're out of money in 10 minutes. The way I do it with the tiered leveling keeps me safe in the early rolls. And Greg brought this up, and he said, I'm noticing a trend with you, John, which is that all of your strategies that you create, my stuff that I play, typically speaking, is really strong in the short rolls, right? I am a strong short roll player because I know what happens. You see me roll it every day. You see me get these short rolls, and it happens. I watched Mike from On Point Craps' show this morning. Short roll, short roll, short roll. I mean, he was banging 0.7 ounce one after another. That's where the money is, right? That's why the dark side wins, because there's so much of that. And if you're a light side guy and you go out there with 64 across, 44 inside, iron cross, and you get a 0.7 out, you're out $100 over and over and over again. It just bleeds you dry. That's why Greg calls it the elephant graveyard. If you're working on a Wayland's Way style where you're laddering your losses, that'll mitigate some of that. But you got to have bankroll to support that. And if you don't have the bankroll to support it, you're going to be in this world where you just get crushed, you get crushed. Maybe you catch a decent roll. Maybe. More often than not, you leave at your loss limit. We don't want to see that. So Greg's right. And if you think about the way Ken has been talking about, what's the hole in you, which I really like that thought. Strategies have holes. People have holes. And Greg has highlighted one of the holes in me, the way that I design strategies, is this. I'm always thinking about the short. I'm always thinking about being there for the long, right? I want a strategy that survives and profits a little bit on the short 1, 2, 3 rolls. That's still going to be alive if the roll goes to 10, 15, 20. My strategies seem to always get hammered in the middle, right? If the roll goes 4 or 9, 4, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, in that area where I'm not getting anything to repeat, that's where I get crushed. Where strategies that are more of a 2, 3 hit regression, they'll do better in those mid rolls. They're terrible in the short rolls. They don't quite get the long roll, right? Because they're going to be a few ticks behind the long rolls normally, but they play the mids better than I do. So I've got to work on that piece of my game, which is the short roll. I've always known, I've known forever that if the roll gets past roll 3 and I'm in my strategy, I'm at risk for a little bit until I get 1 or 2 more repeats. And that's pretty tough. I have to answer this question because it's here. What hurts worse, Wilson or Wagner? Damn it, dude. To me, it's Wagner. First of all, I love defense, right? I grew up, let me tell you some football. Let's talk football for a minute. I grew up in Philly, as you know. When I was a kid, when I was really young, I was the Dick Vermeil era of the Eagles, right? That was my, 8, 9, 10-year-old life, was those eras. They were good. And then we got really good. We had a really good defense there for a while. When the Bears won in '85, we got Buddy Ryan as our coach, and Buddy Ryan was obviously Buddy Ryan. He was the man. I loved that defense. That Philly defense was probably one of the best defenses I'd ever seen consistently. They did nothing with the offense. That team sucked overall. Come to the Legion of Boom era of the Seahawks, holy crap, that's the best defense I've ever seen. That was the most dominating defense. And Wagner and Cam Chancellor, 2 of my favorite players of all time, watching guys play defense. Cam Chancellor was, God, that guy was amazing. And Wagner was the guy, right? I love those 2 guys. I just hate seeing that team. There's nobody left from that team in 2013. It's sad. That's really, both are really sad. Wilson, I knew was going to go. I was hoping against hope that he wouldn't, but with Aaron Rodgers signing that $50-something million deal this week, that Wilson was a free agent next year, which meant the Hawks would have had to pay him 55 or 60, right? Keeping up the ante to keep him here. There's no way they're going to do that. You can't give, a quarter of your team's salary to one guy. He was going to be gone next year anyway. I'd rather him be gone now and get the picks and the talent back for him than next year when he's a free agent, you get nothing for him. So I hate seeing him go. I got a Wilson jersey that I wear all the time. Still respect him, but damn it. Now we're in like full blow the team up and it's rebound mode, man. It's just sad. It's sad when your team is going through a rebuild at the same time the two teams you hate the most were playing for the championship, right? And that's soul crushing more than anything else. So there is that. So Dice DJ, you're a Philly guy. That's right, you're a Philly guy. I should let you know. I'm going to be over there. I'm going to be there in April. I'm probably going to go to, I think, you tell me if it's good or not, the Harrah's in Philly. My stepmother, who I'm going to be staying with, goes there a lot. So we might go to Harrah's in Philly one night while we're there. I'm for sure going to go to AC. So why don't you drop me an email, john@procraps.net. Let's hook up. Let's find a way to get hooked up. I'm going to meet a bunch of other people down there. I'm going to meet Mike and Jeff and a few others down in AC, but let's try and hook up. It'd be kind of cool to meet in person. Let's see. I'm going to go through some more chats before I get to actually talking about important things. James, if I own a casino, how would I want my players to bet? I think that says it all. There you go. You know what? I've said this before. You guys make fun of me, but Casino John, I'm going to 100% have edgeless craps. I believe here's the thing I believe, right? I believe people are dumbasses, okay? Love you all, but y'all are a bunch of dumbasses. People will overbet their skill, right? Greg says this all the time. I don't need a house edge on craps to beat you if I have a casino. You'll beat yourself because you're going to bet too much money. You're going to bet stuff crazy, especially if I go with edgeless craps. You're going to go like bonkers and bet stupid things. I'll make my money off of you because you're dumb, right? I don't need the edge to beat you. If I had a casino, I want my players to play with their advantage because you don't actually have an advantage. Probability will get you. Probability plus ego equals a win for me, the casino owner, and that's the truth of it. You will go a little bit nuts, and that's okay with me. And to answer your question too, James, look at what the casinos did. Right, they're going to crapless. Crapless is becoming a more popular game. What do the casinos want you? They want you to bet light side, right? If they wanted you to bet dark side, they wouldn't have had crap. They wouldn't have made crapless craps. They would have made dark side craps. They didn't. They made crapless craps, took the whole dark side away because they know, right? If everybody's betting on one side of the table, they make money from everybody, and that's a shame, frankly. Let's see. Anything else before we get into it? Coca's Casino. There you go, Coca's Casino. That's actually pretty good. You know, my dad and my uncle had a restaurant, not a restaurant, it was a bar tavern type of thing in Philly. So if you all know, everybody who's been to Philly knows Jewelers Row. My dad and uncle ran a bar on Jewelers Row called Coco's. It was a COCOS. It was, I don't know why they put the K in there, but it was Coco's. And anyway, that's now closed, but it was there for quite a long time. So anyway, let's see. A casino for dogs. There you go. Ego plus overbetting. That's so true, Greg, right? All right, let's get into today's topic. We want to go into talking about important things like not this. This is the boring stuff, right? This is what we're going to get into. I want to skip this slide though and go to here and talk about bet sizing. So we've been talking about bet sizing all week. And I think today, you know, I really had this thought of, oh, I see what you did there, Dantana. I didn't almost bankrupt myself. I absolutely bankrupted myself going on the don't, right? One time. I want you to remember the statistics though, before I talk about bet sizing. Remember the stats from that day, okay? When I bankrupted myself on the don't, I went all the way to zero. With the don't, I did go to zero, but that was the first session of that day. I went to zero. I went 4 other sessions where I won over 20% after that. What I say to you all the time, and I'll show you here a slide in a minute. If you can win 80% or 20% profit 80% of the time, you're going to be okay. And I did that. I won 4, I lost 1. That's where I want to be, right? That you're going to have a shit session. It's going to happen. So no big deal. It happens. Anyway, let's talk about growing your bets. And we'll talk about 2 things today, I think, if I have time to get to it. One for sure is going to be progressions. I do progressions all the time. When I was filming the Horseman videos over the weekend and yesterday, I kept putting a progression into it because I feel really strongly about streak betting. And you know that the mathematical players will tell you no such thing as a streak. You can't spot a trend until it's in the past. I like to try and catch that trend wave when I can catch it. And that's why I'm really into the progressions. I think progressions are a way to kind of don't bite me here, but house money. money you didn't bring, or your profits. I like to use that money against the casino whenever I get a chance. Progression betting lets me do some of that on some of the line bets and the even money bets. Up in the box, if you're gonna bet light side, what I like to think about, not just pressing so much, but using wins to bet more money with. In other words, not being extra conservative and bringing everything back, not being extra aggressive and pressing everything, but thinking about reducing the number of wins I have to get. Let me show you a quick chart here. Oh shit, I just logged out. Hang on. I'll show you a quick chart. Hopefully you can see my my Excel spreadsheet here. So we've seen this one before, right? This is the how often do you have to win chart, right? And if I'm looking to win, we can make this looking like one. I think I can do $1,000, right? For $1,000, I'm gonna go once a week. Goal for the week. See, I'm gonna play once. I want to play. Well, let's see. That's not gonna work. Let's do 2,500. We'll go once, 4 weeks. All right. So here's a good example. If I'm gonna win $2,500 and I want to go like once a week for 4 weeks, this is telling me how much I need to play. We've seen this chart before. It's not important about how much I'm going to win. The important thing is the number of wins required. We talk about this a lot. If you're going to bet static, $10, to win 625, you got to win 63 times. That's impossible. You can't be at the casino long enough to win that many times. But if you start increasing your bet levels to 25, to 100, to 500, you lower the number of times that you have to win to get your goal. And that's where I say growing your bet, right? If you can get your bet size higher, you have to win less frequently. Goals are easier to attain. But you're also, at the same time, not going to bring 10K most of the time and bet $500 per roll, right? Most of us don't have that kind of paper lying around. So it's untenable to say, yeah, I'm going to win $500 in one shot, the one hit and down type of thing. If you bring in 10,000, sure, that's an option for you, but most of us don't. But most of us also can't survive this. You cannot survive trying to win 63 $10 bets to get to your goal. That's the death of any gambler. This is also the pot of gold. Greg always talks about the right side players reaching for the pot of gold and the elephant graveyard. It's because we're looking for 63 wins, thinking that we can turn, our buy-in into $625. It just doesn't happen, right? And that's where I'm so diligent, passionate, focused on not staying in here. This is where right-siders, and Greg, I know you're hearing this. This is why we want to press. This is why we want to press. We want to turn 63 into 25 by pressing our bets up. I would tell you this, you can probably do the same thing by collecting your wins, your earlier wins, and then going out with a progressively higher bet. In other words, instead of just pressing in the current roll and getting yourself beat, take 2 or 3 hits and come down. Take 2 or 3 hits and come down. Take those 6 wins and go out with a higher bet level at that moment. Build up your next play. Collect all the gunpowder, make a bigger bullet. That's what I'm wanting you to do as a different way of thinking about it. I think a lot of guys, we do this during between sessions. You buy in for 500, you win 100. Your next buy-in is 600, so your bet size is higher. I'd like it to sort of produce that during the session and see if that works out. So that's the thing that I want us to get to. Dan disagrees with me. I'm not sure on what level. Why don't you go ahead and give me some specifics there, Dan, on what you're disagreeing with, and we'll talk through it. So let's go back. I think I want to show you one more thing, by the way. This was, and I'll make this spreadsheet. I think this is available. I think if you go to the ProCraps website, not the website, but the YouTube page. Let me just go check real quick. If I go to YouTube, I'm 90% sure it's here. Let me show it to you if it is. I go to my channel. Let's see, switch account. Give me a second here, ProCraps. This is, I know, terribly exciting TV for you, right? Let's go to my channel. Hey, look, we're live right now. Go to my channel, and I believe that over here, yeah, this link right here, this little green link, is the spreadsheet that I'm looking at. So if you want to grab the spreadsheet, you can come in here, and you can just do File, Make a Copy. Once it loads up, File, Make a Copy. Now you have a copy of this thing. All the calculations that I do are in here. So everything I'm talking to you about, The projections for how to kind of work your bankroll through. Planning a trip is in here. The 3-unit challenge calculations are in here. If I go to the end, you'll see that yesterday's bet sizing thing from VDC is in here. Your bankroll, your bet size based on your bankroll, what your buy-in should be and what your win goal should be. All of these spreadsheets that I do the calculations with are here. So if you want to grab this, take this, right? Here's the one that shows you if you can win 80% or we can win 25%, 80% of the time with a loss limit of 40%, you're going to be up 12% over the course of time. This is how I calculate things out, and it's a good thing for you to have. So grab that spreadsheet and make a copy of it, and you can plug your own numbers in there. So there you have it. Your freebie of the day is there. So, all right, let's go back and talk about money. Let's go here. All right. Anyway, there's that. Let's see. I'm going to go back to chat real quick and see if Dan has written back. You can win. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about this, Dan. 63 wins is hard, right? With 5 different bets, you can progress. That's today's topic, of course, progressing, right? If you progress a bet and collect on that, it counts as 2. You can actually cut that number in half. It's almost logarithmic as you go down, almost, not quite. And you can win many small bets and make money. The problem is winning 63 bets or the equivalent of 63 bets in a single session becomes increasingly hard because, as you know, tables do this. They're choppy as hell. You don't always live here, or on the dark side, you don't always live here. To win that often at a table, I find that it's very tough. I find that your exposure in terms of time to me is just too great. And that's why I try to avoid that. So I jump into progressions. I jump into some pressing, but I actually think pulling back. And I'll give you a good example. If you do your Butterberg system, let's say we Butterberg and we pull back 3 or 4 wins and then take a powder. Pull back 3 or 4 wins, take a powder, and then do it again at double the bet size. Let's actually go take a look and see if I can make that work this morning. We'll do that first. Let's go to this view of the table. We'll go to the long view. I have no money in my bankroll. I haven't actually set everything up yet. So let's walk back over here, get the light turned on. And again, this is completely off the cuff, so we're going to see what happens. But let's do a Butterberg at, let's see, we'll do it at this level. I'll do the $25 level, which is about as low a level as you can probably do with it. We'll turn the puck off. And actually, I'll show you something that I've been doing recently. I come into the don't here, and I actually have been starting this out like this by laying the back wall. This actually works pretty solid. It's a $200 lay on the back wall. Lay 200, $6 vig, which I'll just put back here. I'll put it in whites actually. $6 vig on those don'ts. And this actually will bring you back 130 minus the $6 vig. So 130 minus the 6 to lay the back wall. And I've been doing this more and more because I'm rolling so many come out 7s. So it's 200 back here. It's a quarter on the don't. If the 7 comes on the come out, you win 130 minus 6 is 124 minus 25. It's a net of 99 or basically $100. Not a bad result on the come out 7s when they come, right? But if it doesn't come, and here we have a 9 for our point, what I do is this. The 9 is going to be the point, so we're going to lose. That should have been 30, by the way. We'll lose that $30. Why did I miss the 5 too? We'll lose that, and I'll bring the point to the 9. Now we have a bet against the 9, and I bring all these bets forward. Everything comes in front. I just bring it right on down like so, and I'm going to run the Butterberg from this position. So my 200 becomes 200 here, and with a point of 9, we'll probably go ahead and lay, if I can do it, 150, right? I can do 6 times. Yeah, I can do 150, right? And we'll put a max lay up here. Now, it's not going to cover everything, right? This will cover 125, and what I've got left up here is 170. So we're not quite covered. You can't get enough with the 3, 4, 5 table to cover it, but you're okay here in the Butterberg for a couple of swings. And if we can take 3 hits and come down, let's see if we can't get 3 hits and come down. There's a 6. $30 6 will pay 35, right? And we'll bring that bet down with us into here. Let's get a second hit. There's a 6 again. Bummer, right? We ran from the victory. There's a 6, 4, 10. I have 40 bucks on both the 4 and the 10. That'll pay me a cool 80. Minus, of course, the VIG, which I'm not dealing with today. And we'll bring this down. Take one more hit if we can get it. Oh boy, repeater on the 10. How about that? Who says dice control is not real? Look at me repeating numbers here like a boss. There's the 5, 2, 7. So that's okay. We're going to win 1 1/4 down there. We got our money back ahead of that. So the Butterberg that time didn't quite get us all the way home, but we're mostly there. Let's run it a second time and see if we can't get a little more juice out of this thing. Let's see where we are. By the way, there's our 200 bucks that we need to lay the back wall with. There's our quarter down there on the don't. And we've got our 150 that we laid on it. So we actually do have a little bit of profit out of that hand, which is kind of cool. All right, let's take the 200 bucks and get the back wall laid for 200 again. We'll come right across with a $200 lay. There's 30, I'm sorry, 40. Boom, 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 boom. Lay it up. We've paid our 2 blacks. We have money here. This is actually, I'll get a black for the greens. This will become potential lay bet money down here, and we've already got a little bit of profit. Now, what you can do is this. Once we get our come out number established, let's see what it's going to be this time. Hard 4. So we're going to lose this. Bring them all back down as place bets. We can lay, I can still do this here. We can lay 150 now for 75. So we have $100 in don't action against, what is that? 160 out here. So we're in okay shape. What we could do is take that previous set of wins and go a little bit higher. I'm going to take a second set, and then we're going to double our bets up. We're going to go ahead and try and get a couple of hits here, bring these things down, and damn it, we didn't get it. 617. Shoot. Would have been nice to have had a decent roll. Let's get it going here again. All right, what's going to happen down here? Of course, we're going to get 100 bucks, 75 for the lay, 25 for the flat. I'm going to bring this back. I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to talk about it, okay? I'm not going to do it. What I like to do on these wins down here, as you know, the offensive line strategy is to start progressing the don't pass bets. We have 2 wins in a row down there. I'm not progressing them because I'm talking about this, but it's part of a comprehensive way of playing. You can be progressing down here as we go. Again, I'll talk about that as a secondary topic here. For now, let's come back out, and we may have to dip into our savings a little bit here to kind of get this thing to work. We do, because we got beat last time. It's a bummer getting beat. No one likes getting beat. All right, we're back to our cross bet. Our profit level's down to 10. I still have enough money to lay, but I burned through my profits to $10. Here we go, coming out. 325, 325 on the come out. That's our point. We'll lose it. Let's make this work. Let's get some action here. Again, laying 150 to win 100. Down in front. Are you freaking kidding me? I just need to stop rolling dice, I swear to God. I will find every hole in every strategy. Boom, we get hammered on that thing. You gotta be kidding. All right, well, that is what it is. We'll lose the don't, and we're out of dough back there. I'll let those place bets sit. Without the power here to help me, I'm not gonna lay the back wall this time. And what happens? Okay, I'm just gonna go turn the camera off, that's it. I'm just gonna walk over here. I'm gonna walk over here. Okay. Just gonna get my Zen moment here. I need a minute. Need some coffee. That was fun. I'll go back to that. I'm just gonna let that settle for a minute. The hit the point. Don't decide to lay the back wall because I'm trying to make a different point and roll a freaking come out 7. Doesn't that just happen every single time to me? Good Lord. I just need to sit here and enjoy the moment that just happened. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm just going to have a cup of coffee and talk to y'all for a minute. We're just going to sit here and be pals because that's the time I got to walk away from the table. I mean, I normally sit here and pound that thing out, but before I go big AZ and break that stick, we're going to have to sit here and have a cup of coffee. Oh, man, alive. You're saying hop the 7 for 30. No way. I'm not doing that. I've done that before. I did a whole analysis of this, James. Laying the back wall, you're still giving up 30. It's the same difference. I don't care if they have to work for it. It's actually easier to lay the back wall and move the bets forward than it is to keep replacing all the bets. Also, when you hop the reds for 30, you get burned for 30 on the horn numbers. And the horn numbers happen enough that's an extra $30 loss that you get over time. You're going to get, out of 10 rolls or so, you're going to have an extra 30 or $60 in losses by hopping the reds. That's the reason why I don't do it. I've rolled it out again and it doesn't happen. So Dennis says done, bye-bye. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead. I do need a whiskey. That was a terrible, right? How awful was that? All right, let's go back. I feel good now. We're going to get another cup of coffee. We're going to go back to the table and run that again because I want to make a point and the dice have got to help me make my point sometimes, right? Here we go. Table wide view. Let's reset. Buy back in again. Here we go. I'm going to get myself back. Puck will be off. Let's reset our bankroll. Okay, there's 200 up there. There's 25 for the don't, and there's 150 for our lay. Okay, let's try and avoid stupidity here. Again, it's 200 plus 150, that's 350, 375 total to make this part of it happen. And again, this is actually at the lowest level you can do this. You would never Butterberg probably at any lower level than at least the quarter level. You can do it at 10, but it's way more grindy that way. Let's come out. 415. We'll lose that, of course. Bring them forward. All right, here we go. Lay it up. And there's a 426. 426. It's a $35 winner. And we'll bring it down. I'm gonna go for 3 hits here. There's a 4, hard 4, great. Love when the outsides hit on this because that's an $80 win. 80 off of 40, that's a great little win. That can come down. One more, we'll turn them off. 628, that's awesome. Okay, that pays $35 and we're done. $35 and we are done. Everything comes down. What I'm gonna do here is bring my bets actually off the table. We're gonna roll the dice until the 7. I don't need my lay bet anymore. And in fact, if I wanted to, I could do this and let the 7 happen, right? Either we're gonna take this quarter back off the table or we're gonna get an extra $10. Let's roll it out to the 7. In this position here, that's probably the best thing to do. Maybe the 5 comes and we get an extra $10 for the fun. There's a 4. There's the aces. Aces, headlights. There's our 7. That rolled, that was a 7. That pays that and comes back. So let's get ourselves reset and I'll show you where we are. We have money here for our lay bet. We have our 200 to go back across the back wall. I'll reset the back wall for you. There's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3. All right, there's our quarter for the don't. There's our 150 lay. We have $120 sitting here, right? 120 divided by 6. I could go $20 higher or so on each bet. I'm gonna run this one more time, like I said before. Pocket the money, and then we're gonna have a big effort on it. So let's have the puck come off. Let's come out. That's a 6-4-10. I'm not sure if you can see it in the corner there, but it's a leaner. It rolled over when I pulled it, but it was a 6-4-10. That'll be our point. And we'll lose that. Let's bring them up. I love a point of 10. My favorite point. 10 and 4 both, because it can take a while. When I'm on the don't, I love it. When I'm on the do, I love it even more because it takes a while to get to it. Here we go. 4-1-5. That'll pay 42 bucks. Because I have 30 on. I think the last time I didn't pay myself 42. It might have been a mistake. It's possible your dealer made an error. Okay, one more shot. 628. 30 pays 35. And bring it down. And roll number 3. 6, 4, 10. That sucks. That really sucks. Lose our don't. There was almost time actually to pull the don't down once I took that third hit, but we didn't. No biggie. We're going to come back out. I think we're going to still be okay here. I'm going to come out and finish the back wall. One more shot through. I wish we would have gotten that whole thing to pay off because it would have been nice to have seen the next move that we were planning to make here. So there's our back wall lay. There's our don't. I'm going to go ahead and get a quarter for this here. And we're just about even in that last shot. We burned that whole first shooter's profit. What a crappy roll. There we go. Lose the 8. I may have to force this to happen. I hate doing that, but it may have to be done. There's our 150 lay on the 8 for a couple of rolls. 6, 4, 10. It pays 80 and comes down. I can't see it. That's a 426. 426 again pays 35 and comes down. Hard 10. 5, 5, hard 10. We already got it. There's a 6. We've already gotten paid on that one too. Another 10. Boy, it's feeling like it's time to start getting out of Dodge here. There's the 7. Okay, you knew that was coming. On the 8. So we're going to lose these. We're going to win 125 on the odds down there and a quarter on the flat, which is good. That'll get us back to health here. Let's see how close we are to being able to do what I wanted to do. We have 200 here for the back wall. Okay, let's lay that up. I'm going to need some reds, it looks like. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so our back wall is laid. We have our 150. There's 150 for our lay. And again, we've got 115 bucks here. What we can actually do is let these things come forward. I will let them come forward here. Let's get our come out number first. It'll be a 6. We'll lose that. Let's bring it all ahead. And now I can actually take this money that I've earned before and go higher level. So instead of pressing as we go, you build up your bankroll here and then come out and selectively press. We're gonna go ahead and put an extra, what I got here, 100 bucks. I'm gonna get the 4 and 10 for a little higher, the 8 for a little higher, and we'll grab the 5. So make the 5 look like 55. I'll make the 4 and 10 each look like 65 bucks, and the 8 look like 60. And so what we do is you press up from previous profit and go at a higher level. And then when you pop these down, you can be out. And that was the thinking before, right? Is kind of getting this kind of pumped up level of betting in here based on previous bets, not based on pressing in the roll. That comes back in the rack, by the way. And of course, knock ourselves off the point. And that's the end of the session. All right, that was a terrible session today. It is what it is. Hopefully my point was okay. Oh my God. How funny am I today? Okay, let's go. Let's go back to me. I'm done rolling dice. Today is one of those days where there's just no way to beat the system. Unfortunately, it just didn't work. Dr. S, if I would have rolled a 7 first, on the back wall pays 130. We have a $200 back wall lay. that pays 130. Let me show you how that works. It's actually, believe it or not, this works a lot. The come out 7 is a big winner when you're doing it this way. Let me show you how it looks. I'm gonna lay it again just so you can see it, because not everybody has seen this presentation before. We lay the back wall for for 200 bucks. What it ends up being is 30 bucks on all your inside numbers. So taking each one on its own, the 4 and the 10, laying them for 40, they each pay 20. So it's going to be, I'll put the money out in front here. And we prepay the vig. So it's 20 bucks on the 4 and 10. The 5 and 9, 30 also pays 20. And the 6 and the 8, 30 pays a quarter. So all told, it's 130. This should add up to 130 if I've got the numbers right. There's 25, 25. There's 100, 15, 30. So it pays 130 coming down off the back wall. And the reason why I like doing this, especially when I'm gonna bring them all forward like that, if that pays 130, you had a quarter on the don't. Now your net is 125 or 105 rather. And you had to pay a $6 vig. So you basically win 100 bucks. Minus, it's $1 off, but you're essentially at 100 bucks laying the back wall with a $25 don't. It's a really cool way to come out. Once you're there, you're gonna lose 30 every single time. There's no getting around that, or maybe 40, but once you're there and you bring it all forward, again, that's an easy move for your dealers to make, just slide everything up in the front. Now you're set up within a cross bet. Of course, with the don't point here. And you're set up to be, you're where you want to be. You have a good bet. This is a better bet than that is. That's fine. So you've got the 7 and everything else across. That come out winner on the pass line is a big winner for you back here, and it sets you up to where those bets could almost be free sometimes. So that's the idea behind doing it. I hope that made a little bit of sense. But unfortunately, we couldn't get the Butterbird to work twice in a row today. Dan, I'm sorry, man, it didn't work. But what I would have done is this. If we would have hit the Butterbird twice, right? If I could have got 3 hits 2 times, then what you end up having is doubled up in the rack. My next run across would have probably been at 320 across. And I would have Butterbird 320, right? Get those bet levels really nice and high, and 2 hits at that level, and now you're way over your profit goal. 2 hits and pull everything down and you're way up. And I think the reason why I approach it that way is because I feel like, let me go back to the table again, because I want to explain this one more time. Sorry, I'm going to bounce back and forth, but when I'm in this position here, to me, if you're going to be a press player, all right, let's look at this. If you're going to be, let me get all these chips out of the way. If you're going to take the 8, right, and let's say that the 8 pays, we know it pays 35 bucks, right? And that's great. And you're going to press it up. You're going to be super aggressive and say, let's get a full press and off we go. Right now you have a $60 rate. And the 5 comes in and it pays, 42 bucks on the $30 5. Great. Make it look like 50. Cool. And it's pressed up and you got some money back in your rack. And then the 7 comes. And you've got 2 pressed up bets. Let's actually take 3. We'll take 3 bets as an example. The 9 also 42 bucks. 9 pays 42. Again, make it look like 50. And you're rock star, right? You're like Mr. Craps. You got everything all pressed up and you're doing awesome. It looks great. Now the 7 comes, you got nothing to show for it. You lost all your money, you had nothing to show for it. To make pressing work, you've got to get many, many, many hits, and you got to get repeaters, versus what we just did here. If I Butterbirded those things and brought everything down to my rack, let's say we took those hits and brought all this shit back in the rack, now where we are is a power position. Now I've got more than what I started with. If I can do that twice, my next bet, let's actually set it up. We'll do it a second time. We'll do the same exact thing. Let's pretend that I can roll the dice. And we'll get up a few of these bets. There's boom, 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 and we'll put down here. Let's say I'm here and the Butterbird runs a second time and we hit the 4. The 4 pays 80 bucks. And I pull it down like you're supposed to. Pull the 4 down. Make this happen. Let's say that the 9 hits, and again, it's 42 bucks. 9 pays 42. Again, we'll go ahead and bring it down instead of pressing it. And we'll take our last one. Let's pick the 8 for 35 bucks. You take 3 hits, and you're out of dodge. Bring everything back down. My next bet out of the gate will look like this. If all this comes back, I think we have enough money to go 2 quarters all the way across. We do. And we can go to actually, I can go to 6, I can go to 90. Well, we can go at least 2 quarters across. I can actually take the 6 and 8 to 90 each. There's a quarter to go to 90. There's a quarter to go to 90. And the 5 and the 9 can also go to 90. There's 2 more quarters there. So now we're at 75, 75, 90, 90, right? On this next round. If you can get even 2 hits on this one here, those pay 105. If you can get 105 twice and then pull everything back down to your rack, look where you landed, right? That's a safer way to do it because you're pulling back, getting out, letting the 7 happen. Getting your bets up, pulling 3 bets back, taking a rest, then coming out big, taking 2 hits at 105 and coming back down, and you tripled your money. That's the way I like to do the growth on a thing like this versus press, and getting whacked by the 7, right? That's what I like to see us do. So for me, growing the bets internally like this, and yes, it's hard for sure to do that, Dan. It's very hard to do that, to get it to happen 3 times. But again, in a good streak, you can do that. I'd rather take my chances of getting 3 hits in one Butterberg session 3 times than taking one shooter and trying to get 15 or 20 hits out of them, right? And I think that's the discussion that I'm having with myself here is it better to grind and get the 30 roller, or take 3 and come down? Take 3 and come down, go huge, take 2 and go home, right? Looking for 5 or 6 total hits across 3 different shooters. That's what I'm looking for with a system like that. As you can see though, today I couldn't roll the dice. I couldn't make it happen with actual dice rolls, but if I show you in theory what could happen, that's an interesting way I think of approaching getting your bets bigger. Now, again, dice today didn't cooperate and that happens to me all the time, but that's, I think, a thing I want to keep working towards. So there we go. Let's see. I'm looking at some stuff. How about the backwards with field bet? Oh, you know what? I do like that. You know me. I like the field bet in the come out a lot of times. When I'm playing the don't, especially, I do the field in the come out. That's actually an interesting way of looking at that. So I have 4 minutes before my next work meeting, but I'm going to look at that real quick. I'll put that up on screen. It's a really cool idea, actually. Let's clear this out. And let's do the back wall A. There's that. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we lay the back wall for 200 and do even a 25. Let's do a $30 field bet. That's what you're saying to do, because that's interesting. Because here what happens is, obviously the come out 7 is your winner. The 11, which is everybody else on the pass line winning, you get paid on the 11, which these ignore. The 2, 3, or 12, which loses for folks out here, you get paid on. And if the point is a 4, 9, or a 10, you're getting paid for what you lost. It ends up covering you. That's a really fantastic. Whose idea was that? Is that Buckeye? Or is that Dan? Dan DVD. That's a great idea. Really great. Let's see what happens. Come out to an 8. Well, of course your idea sucks because now I lost, right? We lost $60 on the way out instead of 30. But I like the thought. Let's do it again. Pretend, come out roll. The wrong point will hurt you. There's a 6 for the come out. That doesn't help us very much. Let's try it again. There's a 9. So in that case, you would have a wash. I like it. I like it. You're going to get double beat though. And if that happens to you, you have a lot of ground to make up. You're going to start out in the hole, but I like the thought process. It's actually pretty cool. Way to be thinking out loud there. Skills. I couldn't get past this on the skills. He said, "What? Not sure what my answer is." My answer is the headless horseman. Maybe the reason why I made the horseman is because I suck so bad at rolling random. I never see past roll 3. That's the reason why I do it, right? That's the reason why I make strategies like that, because my own rolling is so bad That's what I see. So that's pretty funny. Anyway, I do have to go to work. Of course, today's rolls were brutal. My point didn't get made, and it's a Tuesday, or it's a Wednesday, right? It's a hump day. This is like, whatever. Have a good day. That was an awful roll, but hope you had a good time with me this morning. Our doesn't always have to be perfection here, right? Craps is not a perfect game. I'm not a perfect person, and there we go. Have a great Wednesday, all. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not sure what tomorrow's topic is going to be. I might go into progressions tomorrow. I might do a little bit of laddering tomorrow. I don't know. Friday's show, by the way, might be delayed or not happening. I have a major thing at work on Friday, so I may not be able to do a show Friday. We'll see. If I do, it'll be late. So anyway, got to get to work. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for being here. And God bless all of you. Have a good one.